Welcome everyone back to a brand new episode of Busted Musket Productions and Amazing. For some reason the tongue twister had already began.
Are you sure that's that and like not coupled with the fact that you've been playing Kingdom Hearts these past few days?
Yeah, I'm still thinking about that game right now. God. I'm just relieved of all things that it's good and it's not like, oh okay, so this is just every Kingdom Hearts game we've had so far, or like he's not really evolving it like he usually does.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's all of those things and even better. There's some weird thing I'm noticing because the reason why I came so late is because I was like playing the Monsters Inc. world, and I'm like, oh, I'll do like an hour of it because these worlds usually tend to be like 2 to 3 hours long. The Tangled one was super long. But like the Monsters Inc. one was like, it was supposed to be a sequel to the movie, and after playing the Toy Story one and playing this one, I'm like, okay, so Pixar helped them create these worlds and helped them make this story. Pixar's like, yeah, let's make the stories really dark though. Let's make it that Buzz is having like these small panic attacks because he's witnessing the bad guys using darkness to control toys, so it's making him question his morality.
Oh wow.
And then in Monsters Inc., Randall comes back with the help of one of the other bad guys in the game, and he's like, yeah, so making them laugh, that doesn't really last, and screaming, just scaring them once doesn't last. No, we need to use these monsters to go into the world and like create infinite sadness, basically making traumatizing experiences for the kids so they can get everlasting power from it.
Shit.
And I'm like, what the fuck, Pixar?
Damn.
Right? I'm just like, oh man, good thing those are the only two worlds in there, because Tangled was just the movie, Hercules was its own original story, and well, Hercules was like the last third of the movie, and then we have Big Hero 6, which is supposed to be a sequel, but luckily the rest of the world's on Pixar, so it shouldn't be that dark. But yeah, there's just something about the Pixar worlds where they're like, we want you to do this, and it's like, that's a little too dark for the game.
What if each company colluded with Pixar? It's like each of them just makes it progressively more and more dark.
Probably. Like the overall, when it's not Disney at all, but when it's like focusing on the OC characters and all that, like it really is like, it's super dark and it's kind of confusing. Again, after playing through every game and looking at a bunch of videos explaining the story, I'm okay right now. But I have a few people who are like, I'm gonna play the game. Did you play the others? No. Hey Danny, what's going on? And I'm like, don't freaking ask me. Or else we're gonna be here all day.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I just give him this guy's videos called Clemps. He hasn't gone through all of the games. We talked about him last week. Yeah, just watch his videos and he'll help you get a general idea of what's going on for 3, but I gotta give it to them too. There was an update that created these little online videos that explain the game from number 1 all the way up until now.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long was it?
Altogether, I think the videos are like 15-20 minutes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they're on Square's channel. They're like the memory books. You can watch them on YouTube or watch them in your game. But they're made specifically for the people like, if this is your first game, you need to watch these or else you're gonna be mad.
Damn, Danny, I can really tell you want to review this game the minute you're done with it. I can already see you're itchy to talk about the whole...
I'm gonna wait, because the thing is like, you haven't played the game.
Well, the series at all.
Yeah, you haven't played the series at all. But my friend Daniel, who is with me on the series, which is only more proof on him being an imaginary friend.
Shares the same games, somewhat similar names.
Yeah.
What else, Danny?
Well, that's my actual birth name. It's Daniel.
Exactly. But since you cast it out for Danny, Daniel became your imaginary friend, i.e. your disposition for your original name.
Yeah, like if anyone remembers the Fed movies, Durf is like a cooler version of him, but Durf is just fed backwards.
Yep.
God, they were really high when they made that movie. But yeah, like, I'm just gonna wait for him to play that game and then we'll do it on that show. So there will be no invasion. But yeah, I'm itching hard to talk about this.
Oh,
How much I itch, I never get clean, Justin. Have you ever seen that video?
no.
Oh, I'm gonna show you that in a little bit.
That sounded so weird.
It's really weird. I'm gonna show you that. But anyway, we are back again with a new episode that has nothing to do with Kingdom Hearts. You guys really just had to give me that for a few minutes. But we are talking about one of me and Lewis's favorite series, the Monogatari series. But we're not talking about the new show that came out because, in all honesty, I forgot it came out.
What was it? No, it was
It was like a new one, right? I thought it was Horari season 3, but someone's like, no, it's like a new.
Yeah, it's a newer one because Owari was the other one.
Yeah.
And then I had the name, but I forgot.
Oh god, I hate it when that happens. There's so many to keep track of, like Bake, Kizo, Suki,
Nekomono, and then what the fuck was it?
See,
Nisa. There you go. Nisa
Monogatari.
The one with Taiki.
Yeah, the good ones.
The good ones.
Even though, like it's funny because when I'm watching this movie, I'm just like, So, Episode comes back, who is in the movie, and he comes back into the main show. Mm-hmm. The other guy, Dramaturgy. Oh, okay. Dramaturgy.
That one was so hard to. I was like the whole time. I was like, dude. When I saw those cards the first time, I thought it was things like, what? I had completely forgot that was their names.
Yeah.
Because I just like Dramaturgy and Episode, and I was like, what? It's like such deep transition cards. What could they mean?
And it's their names.
I know, and I forgot that was their names. I was like, oh wait, that's right, that was their names.
Yeah, and then Guillotine Cutter. And it's funny because I remember thinking, okay, so looking at this movie, I get why Dramaturgy hasn't come back in the show at all because he's scared. Mm-hmm. But like, what happened to Guillotine Cutter? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was by the second movie too.
Yeah. Wait. No. That was the third movie.
Second.
What
third. Yeah, third. Second is when he defeats him, but third's yeah.
Yeah, that one I'm just like, oh god. Yeah, warning, guys. The Monogatari series has always been kind of a risky series, but like in the anime wise, it's only really been like creepy sex jokes and like the occasional rapey scene-ish kind of thing.
Rapey scene-ish with a bunch of like a lot of very well fan service girls.
Yeah, lolly jokes. There's still that favorite part I like where they're in Convert's house, and he's like, you're not as much of a pervert as you want me to think you are you? And she's like, oh yeah, I'll show you. Oh. And she like tries to rip his pants off.
Oh, yeah. And then when you see him with Hachikuji's hair, and it's like, it's like Karanari, hold still. It makes it more difficult for me to take off your pants like this.
Yeah. I'm never going to meet a Hachikuji again with sexual harassment.
Yeah, because that's how he usually greets Hachikuji.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's bringing back so many memories from that show now.
Yeah, but before we can, so just letting you guys know, this one is very violent. So if you guys are watching this and are gonna watch the movies afterwards, these are incredibly violent. Like
there's pretty gory. Very, very grotesque.
Yeah. There's also a scene in there that made me feel very uncomfortable, and that was like not Hachikuji's, Koyomi's last request from
Hanekama.
Yeah, that one made me feel really uncomfortable, but the ending was the payoff for that was very funny. We'll go into that a little bit later, but yeah. But
that scene got me.
But this movie definitely is a lot more intense than what I'm usually used to from the show. So before we get to that,
and I ended up watching the best dub. The best subs for the first movie.
Oh, okay. Why were they all super awkward?
No.
Fuck this! I can't give enough fuck to change this.
The subs from this guy made everything so much beautiful for the movie.
Famdesu.
Wow, Famdes.
What did you? You didn't go to the usual site to watch it? Because I think they have a regular sub over there.
I thought it was gonna be, dude. It was only the first movie that was subbed like this. The rest were okay.
That was so weird.
I'll show you the rest.
But was this like the regular site though?
This is Go-Go anime. That's still one I'm watching.
That explains it.
This is fucking...
I have no idea why the fuck did I time this line, but might as well keep it.
Where she smiled.
That reminds me of like Rooster Teeth subs. When they sub episodes, they'll like hide little things in there.
Yeah.
Like there's a part with Blake's mom where she's like eavesdropping on Blake and Son's conversation, and the little subtitle text just says Blake's mom, and it's the little kitty face.
Dude, speaking about kitty face in this movie, holy shit, they made kind of Kawa look more cat-like, if anything.
Yeah,
especially her face.
That was never something they did, right? Yeah.
No, because on the original series, her mouth was never like this.
Yeah,
it was just regular.
See, I knew there was something weird up with that. I'm like, there's something not right about that. But before we go in, we do have to do this tongue twisters. It will be a rite of passion.
Rite of passion.
Rite of passion.
Do you want to do the Japanese or do you want to do the English?
Japanese. I gotta do the English.
All right, you go for it.
Because I'm a filthy American. So if you guys remember, there's a tongue twister within kimzumongatari Black.
You want to play it if you want?
Oh, yeah.
So this is pretty much how the tongue twister goes. Ooh.
Hey.
It's the circle of death.
So damn cute.
But yeah, and that's going to be our rite of passage for this movie.
Yep.
So here you go. So you first, Danny, and he's going to be saying it in English.
Yeah.
And I'll be doing the Japanese.
Because I'm a filthy American.
Breathe, Danny. Breathe. Lick your lips. Moisten them up.
Okay. Can you imagine an imaginary managing an imaginary menagerie? I know I fucked up. I think I messed up menagerie the first time. I said menagerie. So yeah. Can you?
One more time, Danny.
Yeah,
you got this.
Can you imagine an imaginary menagerie managing? I said it twice, motherfucker.
Imagining.
Oh, I have an idea. Can you imagine an imaginary managing an imaginary menagerie? I messed up that last
Hey, but you still got it.
Better, yeah.
And then from like the dub as well.
And this is why subs are better. Oh God, I'm always gonna lose that argument now. People are gonna be like, you said it yourself, subs are better.
Hey, I'm surprised I got that on the first try.
That was really good. I did that 3 times, and even the last one, I'm just like, fuck! But yeah, speaking of dubs, remember how we mentioned like some dubs that we prefer over the original? Mm-hmm. I completely forgot about Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Oh, well, I've never heard the sub for Dragon Ball Z at all.
Oh, Vegeta and Goku are women.
Really?
Yeah. So, despite the fact they're supposed to be like grown men, they have very oddly childlike voices. Oh. Because what is it? The woman for Goku is still the woman from the original Dragon Ball. But so they never changed the voice for the older version, and they even said that once that voice actress dies, there'll probably be no more anime. That's how serious they are about keeping her around.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I just saw Broly. At least I saw it on a particular other way. I'm gonna try to see the movie in theaters.
There was a funny scene in that movie that I liked.
Oh, did you see it?
No, I just saw somebody post a video of it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, one scene that they liked in particular, and I was like, that's so stupid.
What scene was
but it makes it. It was the one where Broly's fighting Goku, and like his father's there. It's like there's no way he can get any stronger. And then Frieza remembers when he killed Krillin.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, no, there is a way. He shoots him in the chest like, Broly, bad news. A stray laser beam killed your father. You just see him power up.
Yeah, actually turned him into a Super Saiyan, and it's like, yeah, that was a stupid thing for you to say. Yeah, so maybe one day we'll do like a review for that, you know, when it comes out in more legal means. But yeah, when I finished it the first time, I'm like, I gotta see this in theaters, so I'm gonna try to see it in theaters. But
holy Christ, I was freaking out. That was 7:43. I was like, what the fuck?
What the hell?
No, it's 5.
Oh, okay.
It's just from the picture.
Yeah. Alright, good. But yeah, like that movie was great, and that reminded me. Oh yeah, almost even the most hardcore of anime fans will admit that they can't watch the sub for Dragon Ball.
Well, it's funny for me. I can't watch. For me, the ones that I can't watch sub are pretty much the shows that I've already watched in my childhood. That I've already I'm already used to like dub and everything, like Full Metal Alchemist, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, and then Naruto as well. Cause holy Christ, man! When I watch for me, I like the dub the sub for Naruto as well. But every other show where they have the same voice actors that like voice Naruto. Like, whenever they have a shonen that has that same exact voice, I'm like, shit, I can only hear Naruto.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, it's not different enough.
The one that I realized that I can actually watch, and maybe it's because I didn't watch it a whole lot as a kid, but like One Piece, I can definitely watch the sub and enjoy both of them. But I think that's because I barely watched One Piece when I was a kid.
Dude, I watched the show religiously. What got me was the pirate rap.
Oh my god, the pirate rap.
Which will always be which will always have like a unique place in terms of like my taste in music.
Yeah. Oh, and even to this day, I still say Zolo.
That's because how it was said in 4Kids.
Yeah.
Zolo.
I grew up with the 4Kids, so like, I'm like, oh yeah, and then there's Zoro. I know how it's actually pronounced. I grew up with the 4Kids version. You guys.
Because for the longest time it was said Zolo in like elementary school as well. It's like nobody would tell me it's wrong or anything. Because nobody knew about like subs at the time, so everybody watched dubs and we were like, oh yeah, Zolo's like the coolest ever. And then like now that like whenever I go to like anime clubs or everything, I'm like Zolo. I was like, wait a second, no, he's Zoro.
Don't kill me.
Don't kill me. I swear, it was the 4Kids. It's the way I grew up.
Yeah, don't blame us, please.
Which is a thing though. Do you think it might be generational? Like generational, where like how you know somebody's like was a 90s kid, like you know you're it's one of those things where like you know you're a 90s kid when you pronounce Zoro's name as Zolo.
I think so, because I've heard a few people say Zolo at cons, and then they would immediately do what we do and explain why they said that. And then when I talk to younger anime fans, or maybe like the more hardcore anime fans, they always say Zoro. I met like another model. It wasn't a cosplay deviant. I only ever met one of them. But when I met another model like at 2AXs ago, she was saying Zoro no problem, and it was because she didn't get into anime until like 2012. So like that's when 4Kids dubs are gone. The only 4Kids dub that I think was around at that time were the Yu-Gi-Oh shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the bread and butter for like the longest time.
No, yep. And it still is to this day.
Oh yeah, no, they're still messing up the names and doing their own thing with it. But man, as long as it sucks because I don't know if you keep up with it, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged is now on its last season.
Oh shit! I never even started it.
Fuck yeah! Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged was one of those cases because I wasn't really into anime like around high school. But like I only watched it because a girl that I liked was watching it, so that's why I was watching it.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah, and I really got into it because I remember liking Yu-Gi-Oh, and the show is so random that it's like, well, they're making jokes, but I don't need to watch the later seasons to get them. And plus, I saw a good portion of the episodes. I saw up to Battle City when I was a kid, so like I got most of the jokes until they went to like the weirder episodes like Atlantis Rising Again or something like that.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I'm now again haven't touched the series.
Yeah. Even Yu-Gi-Oh?
The Bridge, not the Bridge series. On the regular Yu-Gi-Oh, I think I stopped until like the dual cycles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know there was a later Yu-Gi-Oh! With the original cast that it was like Atlantis was trying to re-rise or some bullshit like that. It was a weird season. But yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, they keep making fun of that. They're like, what's our next idea? Duel monsters on motorcycles. And they keep like repeating that for like half the video. But anyway, we should get to the actual thing.
Yep. We'll have time to reminisce in another episode.
Yeah, we'll do that probably when you get swamped, because you were predicting that February is going to be like the hardest month for you.
Always in one.
It's always hard on the emotional level.
Yep.
What is the saddest thing? Don't worry, for us, on Valentine's Day, you will share into a pool of loneliness for Busted Musket.
I usually get food from the older teachers, so I'm accompanied.
they always give the people who don't have Valentine's cards candy, so I'm good with it. I remember I had a teacher that only did that with the people who didn't get like Valentine's cards, and it was always good candy. So there were a lot of kids who would hide the Valentine's cards they got, so that teacher can give them like big one full bar of fucking Snickers. I mean,
wow!
Yeah, I mean, who the fuck wouldn't? Who wouldn't like fake not getting any cards for a fucking full bar of Snickers? But yeah, it was like for me, Valentine's has always just been like, yo, there's usually something on that weekend that comes out that I really want to see anyway. Which, funny thing I realized, so Happy Death Day 2 is coming out Valentine's Day, but I realized something. Alita Battle Angel got moved to that day too. So it's coming out Valentine's weekend. Yeah. Weaves come together. I'm really hoping that movie's good. But I'm like, I saw Ghost in the Shell. This could go really bad.
I mean, for me, it looked interesting. I mean, at first it took me getting used to the eyes.
Yeah.
It took me a little bit getting used to it, but I'm like, hey, you know what? Think about it. This is how anime eyes would transition if they were in 3D.
Yeah.
This is exactly how they would transition, and I'm like, you know what? I can see where they're going with this.
Yeah. That was all James Cameron too. People are like, man, it's Robert Rodriguez messing it up. It's like Robert Rodriguez had to come out and say, no. This is all James is basically telling me what he wants to do. I'm just directing the thing. Yeah. But yeah, I'm like, I see what they're trying to do. If they had done that for the other cyborgs, I think I would understand.
Well, I think if anything, somebody explained it one time in the internet, because going back to like the original source material for Alita, the dishes she did have like doll-like eyes.
Oh.
So for her, like, you know, if anything, that's why it's kind of like a little bit different her face. It's because she had doll-like proportions, if anything. So rather than, you know, like small eyes and anything, like that's why they're bigger and rounder and stuff like that as well. Yeah. Oh, and I'm like thinking, it's like, oh, okay. For me, that's the reason why I got behind it. It's like, oh, okay. So they're keeping it to the source material. So like, you know, I can get behind this now that I know the reason why.
Yeah. Maybe there will be a review if one or two of us are able to see it when it comes out.
When it comes out February 14th. Alright then, time to ask somebody out.
Oh, yeah, I probably won't ask anyone out. That might be a really bad idea. I don't know, who knows? It could be a good movie, and it could be a good date movie, or it could be a bad movie, and it could be a very awkward experience.
Oh no, I just ask people out as friends. I have no time right now for relationships.
Same! Oh my god, like someone came after me like a few months ago. They're like, you only say that because you can't get a girlfriend. And I'm all like, that is only 20% true. The other 80% is I do not have the fucking time for that. I really don't. I barely have time to get these episodes up, and only now have I actually been getting some of the episodes edited and ready to go. I know we had 2 uploaded a few, 3 weeks ago, so we're getting there. I'm going to work on it this Sunday because it's Super Bowl Sunday, so not a lot of people will be bothering me.
No, for me, it's just I'm planning probably to do probably maybe after undergraduate, maybe when I go to my master's program or something like that. Mm-hmm. Only because then things will be interesting and I'll be like, hey, I got stable income. I can actually guarantee somebody some exciting stuff rather than just going to my house and I'm eating bowls of noodles.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, I know it's funny because I tried Tinder for a while and I see so many people who are like, oh, I just want this simple little outing, but then you see all the photos and it's like, Those look like very expensive outings. So I have a feeling you're trying to trap people.
Dude, my experience with Tinder was just because Manny, Josh, and I were just we're doing I think it was like a punishment game
Oh God.
where like we all had to make Tinders,
Oh God, what?
and then whoever lost had to pretty much look for somebody and message them and see what would happen.
Ooh.
Mind you, we were drinking at the time.
Yeah.
Which is what made it somewhat easier, but at the same time, the messages were kind of like you can start to see slowly. We're like, okay, I think someone's having too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, but here's the kicker though. The winners got to choose what phrase he would have to open up with.
Oh my God.
So the winners had to choose what phrase the loser would have to open up with whenever they message someone on Tinder. And oh man, dude, that was a funny ass game. It was a funny ass game because like sometimes, like some girls you'd see like legit would be like, oh wow, you're charming, or be like, oh what the fuck, like just seeing the wide variety of reactions was just funny. Cause I remember one time, I forgot what it was, but we all ended up in a draw.
Yeah. Oh God.
No one won, and we're like, you know what? I guess everybody gets punished. So we all made a fourth account with all of us in it. And you know what the pickup line was on it?
What?
It would be like, it's like, feel free to choose your flavor.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And it had pictures of all of us on there.
Dude, I still need my photos from AX. From you?
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, remember we took some photos specifically for Tinder? I asked you like months ago for them, and I'm like, I still haven't gotten them back. But yeah.
Dude, I forgot.
Yeah, I hope you still have them, but yeah, we took...
They still have them. I still have them. If anything, I'll just, you know what, I'll send them right now actually. But
Yeah.
yeah. And then while I send them, continue with the show.
Yeah. But yeah, we took some really funny photos specifically for Tinder at the cosplay areas. So that should be interesting. No longer will my Tinder look like mugshots because honestly I wasn't really trying to get picked up on that site. But anyway, guys.
These, right?
Yeah. And don't I have like another one where it's me laying down?
Yep, I have all of them.
Okay. Yeah, send them to me.
Oh, that's me. Where are you?
My Kingdom Hearts beanie before it got all saggy and worn out.
Oh, you didn't lay down.
I thought I did.
I think you did it for another one. I'll look for it somewhere. It's somewhere around here.
Oh yeah, the photos where I got in trouble for picking up a chair. Anyway, guys, let's get on to the show. So, as you know, me and Lewis are gigantic fucking fans of Kizumongatari. Well, the Monogatari series, which is a series written by the very talented Nisio Isin, who still has not revealed his actual name, unless that is his actual name.
And I'm kind of triggered because Crunchyroll Expo is going to be having a Nisio Isin panel and over there, but that shit's super far away. It's in San Jose, which is 8 fucking hours from here.
Fuck. That would have to be like... Wait, is that soon or that's like the end of the year?
That's near the end of the year, like in August. So the Crunchyroll Expo is 2 days. It's in San Jose and they have to pretty much have a hotel over there. And I'm like thinking, fuck, I really want to go for that panel. But I'm like, shit, that means I'm going to have to start setting up from now on. Not only for tickets, but just for like the hotel and everything like that as well.
I'd be down.
You'd be down?
Yeah, I'd be down.
I'd be down too, man, because it's before the semester starts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, that might result in me having to sacrifice Anime Expo, but a fucking Nisio Isin panel? I mean, come on.
Yeah, so they're going to be having a Nisio Isin exhibition followed by like a panel later on where they're going to be like talking about his works and everything. Oh my god. And I was like...
And they're not too big either, so that might be a much more pleasant experience than freaking, what do you call it? Anime Expo. But yeah, if you're down, then I'll save up with you and we can just go halvesies on the hotel. But yeah, but even then, are we gonna drive over there?
Oh, well, I'm driving. I know for sure because my only concern is just the hotel, because I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go by myself and like go be alone in my own hotel room. I'd be like, that'd be sad, and it just wouldn't be worth the cost either.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, there's always the possibility of meeting people over there, but you never know.
No. Even if I meet someone there and like they're willing to share a room, I'd be like,
Oh, you meant that? No.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, no, I'd be willing to go on that check. I mean, again, a Nisio Eason panel, going to another con that isn't Anime Expo would be very fun. Because I mean, we had the usual 3 LA anime conventions happen like this past month, and we didn't go to either of them because number one, Anime LA isn't even in LA.
It isn't. It's by Ontario Center, which is like 3 hours from here.
Yeah. Anime Impulse is in Pomona, I think.
I couldn't go there just because I didn't have money at the time at all. I was just drained from rent and everything. I'm like, oh, this time I have to skip this even though I want to go so badly.
Yeah, I'm currently getting drained. That's why with Crunchyroll Expo, it's a little bit more of an easier thing to do because with me, by that time I will have this bad boy paid off. I only have about 2 or 3 more payments on this thing.
Ooh.
So I don't have to put $200 to $300 in the card anymore. So that's good. But yeah, I'll have a lot of things set up and ready to go. But yeah, as you guys just witnessed right now, we are very big fans of Nisio Eason. There will be the possibility that after Lewis's pick next week, we will probably dive into a Nisio Eason manga that just messed with me. So warning on that one. But yeah, so this is based off kimzumongatari, which canonically is the first story. It's basically story 0 in the Monogatari series, where Bake is technically story 2.
Yeah, which picks up directly after Kizu.
Yeah. Oh no, after Neko.
After Neko, that's true.
Yeah, because Neko, the way I look at it is Kizo is 0, Neko is 1, and then Bake is 2.
Oh, that's right, because Neko happened in Golden Week, which was before the semester started.
Yeah. Because that was when, because it's weird watching that show for so long and taking in all these episodes and characters and...
You forget the sequence of events sometimes. They're like, oh shit, that's right. Some of these happened before or even after like the main, like the first season.
Yeah, and how he was in love with Hanekawa. Because by the time, in Bake, by the time that starts, he had already gotten over her and realized that she is not really opening herself to be loved, so I will love someone.
No. It wasn't that she wasn't opening herself to love, but remember his sister convinced him that it wasn't love he was feeling for her, but rather lust?
Oh, yeah.
And he was like saying, oh my god, you're right. Thank you, before I even committed a crime against Hanekawa. He's like, you're right. Instead of just going through my feelings, I should just protect Hanekawa by not going for her anymore.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. See?
And then ends up going for Hitagi instead.
Yeah, which, Hitagi... That's like Giga's favorite waifu, I noticed watching his videos.
Hey, I can understand. Hitagi's also for me, Hitagi is my favorite girl, not just because of like form and everything, but also just a character. She makes me laugh so much.
Oh yeah, no, she's one of the few main girls that I actually like in these type of harem shows. But yeah, so this one is basically explaining everything that Bake only vaguely explained. Like, why is Koyomi a vampire? Why did he choose to only be half a vampire if there was an opportunity to go completely back into human? Why isn't Shinobu saying anything to him? Like, what is going on?
And I'm glad that the movie picked that up as well, because when he first met Shinobu, Kiss Shot at this point.
Yeah.
When I saw her, I was like, holy shit, she looks nothing like she looks in the Monogatari series.
Right?
I was like scratching my head for the longest time. I was like, huh, she looks different.
Yeah. Very bangable, but different.
Which form?
The form that he finds her in.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna see the lolly form.
That lolly, I'm really... I also kind of like how they explain that too. Because the lolly form in the movie is completely different to like the overall lolly form in the show. And the way they explain that is, well, the form in the movie is she is physically a child, like fully a child. And this one, she's a child, but she's more like a shrunken down clone of what she actually is.
Yeah, so like you can actually, so for that one, it's just her like, oh, this is pretty much how I can, the best I could restore my body with what blood you gave me.
Yeah.
And for me, I like that explanation a lot because like you know what, it makes sense, and and it makes sense as well that you say like at this point she is like you know a full vampire, whereas when once like Bakemonogatari starts and everything like Shinobu then is just half a shell of what she used to be.
Yeah.
Which explains why she looks completely different than what she looks right then.
Yeah, like she is on the brink. That they said near the ending of the movie that she is on the brink of death, but like she's just the hollow shell that hasn't crumbled away yet. God, such a deep fucking show. Just like having to repeat the lines said in the movie to what we hear in the show is just like, God, you have some demons. but yeah, like it's a full deep dive into what is easily the more fascinating characters in the Monogatari series. When it really does come down to who is my favorite, like who is my waifu in the show, that's definitely Kanbaru. But when it comes down to who is your favorite girl as a character overall, it definitely is a kiss shot and Shinobu just because of how much of a troll she is.
Yep.
But in this movie, you're seeing a very different version of her where we open up and it's. I did read a little bit of the book before I lent it to someone and then I never got the book back. Thank you, Marianne.
Just get the book back.
I know. Well, by this point, I'm just like, do I really want it back? But
you just go to her and like you just see her like having a meltdown just from like after reading the book.
I know. Well, she was already having a meltdown because the movie opens up with Koyomi like walking home, and then he runs into Hanakawa, who is the student class president. The student council president? That's what I was going.
Yeah, student council. And that's where I got these scenes from.
Yeah, these like awkward scenes. Fuck off, mate.
That's Haranagi when Hanako was telling him, was like, Haranagi, you're the type of friend who likes to be alone. You're the type of person who likes to be a loner, don't you? And then the guy just subbed it off. You're like, fuck off, mate.
That is so weird.
Oh, okay, that'll be afterwards.
Yeah. So he's just walking home and he walks into her, and Koyomi is definitely a character that I can relate to, as I've mentioned before in earlier shows, where Koyomi is a character that I was in high school and middle school, where I really just didn't want to be alone. I really didn't want to have friends. A lot of the friends I had in high school were like Hanakawa. They came to me and
I thought they were busty.
Oh, no. No, I had one friend that was. No, I had like two friends that were. But like...
Just a fair warning, if you ever have that one friend that's busty, that's usually the mother of the group and usually the scariest one of the group.
Yeah, none of them are the mothers of the group. No, well, why not? One was more like a baby sister, and then another one I had a crush on, but that one I'm just like, I think I have a crush on you just for the sole purpose that I need to look out for you because you're very destructive. But yeah, the mother of my group actually came after I had graduated high school.
Holy shit, there's a lot of photos.
Oh, don't send me all of them.
No, I'm just sending you the ones that I like, the best ones.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, continue.
Oh, okay. So, damn, I have a lot of them. But, oh no, these are the best ones. Cool. So I get that kind of thing. The thing with Koyomi is I feel like he does it just because... Actually, when I think about it, does Koyomi ever explain why he wanted to live his life by that?
Because he said for him, when he told Hanekawa, he said like the reason why he doesn't have any friends is because it makes him stronger as a person. Because for him, he's the type of person that whenever he has a friend, he can't help but always feel whatever they're feeling, but a lot worse. So whenever their friend cries, he feels like crying with them as well. Whenever they're in pain, he feels like they're in pain as well. And like he mentions to Hanekawa as well, like he says like there's just so many negatives to it that eventually like for him he just thinks it's like what's the point of having a friend if it's just gonna wear me down just as much as it wears them down.
Huh.
And then I was like wondering like damn, that's kind of deep. I was like damn. Interesting.
Yeah, I never really did look at it that way. That actually sounds more like my friend Yana, but again, she likes having her friends around. Yes, Belarusian comrade. But yeah, in this one though, yeah, that wasn't me. Me, I just didn't really want the headache of having friends around and all that. I had a really tough time in middle school, and I just didn't want to go through that again in high school. So that's why I try to steer clear of all that.
I was a reformed Yankee.
What? What does that mean?
No, I was a troublemaker, but then my friend Josh kind of like set me straight, and then from then on, I was like a social butterfly.
I can't imagine you being a troublemaker. I can't imagine you maybe being like a over amount class clown. But like you being a Yankee like in anime with the chains and the baseball bat.
No, I wasn't that kind of. I wasn't the kind of guy that like would dress like that. I was just the troublemaker. I would just pick a fight. I would just like be angry most of the time.
Oh my god, I can't imagine that at all.
So I was a hot-blooded kid.
Yeah, I've seen you be angry before, and those are scary because you are pretty upbeat like 90% of the time I've seen you. But oh yeah, see, so I do have a photo laying down. Oh god,
I found it.
This is gonna be super weird posting this online. Oh my god, why did I agree to this? No, I'm joking. I'm the one that asked. Really weird. I wish I didn't have my beanie on in all of the photos though.
Huh? I completely forgot that I wore a maid uniform for one of those for that AX.
That was like the day after, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, he ends up running into the class pres who, is one of those people that I've run into before. They're the people who see a lonely person and wanted to talk to him. And she was asking him why you like this. He tells her. And,
that's all of them. So you get to go.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And he decides to be like, oh, well, what is it? He decides to be like, oh, well, no, what was it again? She asked for his phone number, but
she can look at his phone, and that's when she puts her email and address, and he says like Marari, he's like, you don't have that many contacts, do you?
Yeah, none at all.
And then that's when she's like, well, congratulations, you have your first friend over here as well.
Yeah, well, the line actually, the line I actually thought was interesting. The way she phrased it is like, oh look how unfortunate, you made a friend, and then she just like peeks around being cute and like skips off, and he's like, what was her problem?
But then he starts skipping out as well, like, cause he's happy that he actually made a friend.
Yeah, he made a friend who, again, first friend, super hot, and a glasses girl. Which again, it's been a very long time since I saw the first movie because I barely saw it. I watched part 2 last night, so I didn't want to like.
Did you watch part 2 also in Akiba Fest?
Huh? No, that got sold out even before I found out what Akiba Fest was.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, by the time because I found out what Akiba Fest was like a week before the event actually happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was sold out. Like you could go see the first movie, but again, I wasn't into Monogatari yet. Like it would have been another month. Wait, when was it? October?
Yeah.
It was literally 3 weeks before I actually just started binging the entire show. Yeah, so yeah, no, I didn't go see that, but I remember like the day after it came out, that's all people are talking about. But not a lot of Monogatari cosplayers. Well,
yeah, I beg to differ.
No,
There's quite a bit.
Yeah, I saw Hachikuji when I was at Anime Jungle. My bad.
You saw the Hachikuji. I saw Hanekawa and then I saw people I saw a group cosplay as Hanekawa, Senjo Gahara, and then Kambaru.
Oh, okay.
That was when you were like at the panel that was right outside there.
Oh, I was at the Hunter x Hunter panel?
Yeah.
God damn it. I wanted to. A Kanburu, I've never seen a Kanburu cosplayer. That's why I'm waiting for like another big Monogatari series with her in it so people can cosplay as her and I can be creepy. But yeah, so he's skipping off like happy that, I've made a friend. But I also forgot that he goes to a bookstore.
Well, yeah, because when he goes home, it's like he's thinking about Hanekawa, and then like he becomes restless.
Yeah.
And I like how he just dashes out of his house and like goes straight to like the bookstore to buy.
to buy a dirty magazine, but specifically a dirty magazine that features girls with glasses in a very graphic page with what negane?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the negane girl on it, which I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of had that experience before.
Dude, not gonna lie though, that chick in the magazine kind of did look like Hanekawa.
Oh yeah, she did. Not as busty though.
Not as busty, but like just had the general idea.
Yeah. No, but I'm not lying. I've had that experience before.
Of what?
Where I've met, like for example, I would have met someone at a convention, or I met someone like out in the open that I thought was attractive, and depending what the ethnicity or what they were about was, I'd go and look up something with a similar type of version of that person. For example, if I saw hot black chick, then I'm looking at hot black chicks.
Ebony.
Ebony, there we go. So yeah, that's basically, I get Koyomi, and I kind of hate that that's another thing me and him have in common. Ooh, we're sad people.
No, you know what? Now that I think about it, mine is a little bit more bizarre.
What do you mean?
Because whenever I see somebody or someone like I find like attractive, or like I see somebody that's like ooh pretty,
Yeah.
I actually get the urge of like drawing like whatever character like they're trying to portray, or just anything that's close to it.
I actually knew someone who would do that for guys that she met. Yeah, she'd meet like a cute guy and then suddenly draw like a version of them, but like a super hunky version of them. Yeah, they're out there. There are ways people deal with their sexual repressed feelings.
Well, I guess you found the male version of me there.
Yeah, female version of you.
What do you mean male version? The male version who draws females. Well, the female version who draws the males. So
okay, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I just draw whenever I see something pretty. I'm like, I have to draw this.
Yes.
Because that way it's not a picture and it came from my imagination, so it's not as creepy.
Yeah, I have a friend who knows I did that, and when I told him how I met that cosplay deviant, he's like, I bet you saw a bunch of her photos. And I'm like, nope, I stayed away from her while I was using that cosplay deviant child they gave me. I stayed away from her photos because I feel really awkward looking at photos of her naked, because I do feel like, yeah, we had a little inline friendship going on right there. We were buddies because we were both trying not to go crazy waiting in line.
Dude, I'm glad you told me what cosplay deviant was. When I first saw that booth, it wasn't until you told me exactly what was in there that I was like, thank God I did not go in there. Because I literally saw that and I was like, oh, I was like, I wonder why it's like all clothed and everything. It's like, oh, it's probably they just have like products they can't show to the public. So like probably stuff they want to keep under wraps so that not many people take pictures of.
Yeah.
And I did not think for a second what that would be implying. For me in my head, in my innocent little mind, before you told me what was in there, I always thought I was like, oh, so it's like, oh, that's nice to have like a bunch of people over there like who cosplay and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But, never had the time to go in there, and nor did I ever remember to like check it out at all.
Yeah, good thing I was there to tell you the very awkward experience I had in there. But again, that girl was cool. Again, check out her cosplay. Check out her Instagram. It's her and another cosplay deviant girl, Bunny Queen Modeling. I think the Instagram is. Go give them a follow. Regina was a very nice girl. So anyway, back to the movie. By the way, not a single, at least I didn't see any, but no Monogatari love in that site. No, that's a bad one. Anyway, so yeah, basically moving on. He ends up on his way home. Huh?
Oh wait, yeah, after he buys the magazine.
Yeah, after he buys the magazine, he's on his way home and he goes down into... Does he go down into the train station or does he hear the crying and goes down?
He hears first he sees the blood. He doesn't hear the crying yet. That's when he sees the blood.
Oh.
And he's wondering what happened. And like that's when he starts panicking. Starts panicking and everything, but he can't help but like wonder like what's going on down there.
Yeah.
So he starts following like the blood, like the little blood trail that's going down the stairs, and he like goes down the subway. And then at that point, once he gets closer and closer, like he starts thinking about like what Hanekawa says, so like where she says like, "Oh, be careful, Araragi." Because like I heard there's been a vampire people are seeing a vampire out at late at night.
Yeah.
And then he's like wonders like what's gonna happen. And once he does get into like the part where you actually are on the train station and everything, like where the subways actually stop by, that's when he sees like where the puddle leads to, and guess who he finds over there?
He meets Kishot. Shit, what was it again? Kishot Acerola Orion.
Under the belt.
Heart Underblade.
Heart Underblade. There you go.
Yeah.
I always miss up that last part.
They kept flashing in the name a lot, so I was able to look at it, but I completely forgot that like her middle name was like Acerola Orion. I'm like, I just remember Kiss Shot and Heart Underblade, so I was only saying those 4 words.
I only remember Kiss Shot.
Oh, Kiss Shot, yeah.
Because I always kept confusing Underblade with Underbelt.
Underbelt, yeah. Hitting her with the underbelt. But yeah, and the thing is, it's a very fucked up situation he got himself into because he's seeing this woman like laying on the floor, so he like picks her up, noticing like, okay, she doesn't have any arms. But then with the beautiful animation done by Shaft, he realizes, oh shit, she doesn't have legs either.
Yeah, and that's when he notices where all the blood's coming from. That's when it's like that. She's like, it's like there's a reason why. It's like she's dismembered and everything.
Yeah.
And she's very much well alive still. Cause the one thing when she notices Araragi over there is like she's pretty much like asked her, like, it's like, you human over there. It's like you mind giving me your blood, cause like I'm kind of in a pinch right now.
Yeah.
And Araragi's like just starts panicking cause like he's seeing all this blood. He like sees her like just like in the state that she's left in.
Yeah.
And doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, and normally a person who lost that much blood and is in that situation would normally be in shock, but she's pretty, for now at least, she's pretty well-minded.
Well-minded, still keeping like that attitude, like like her high and mighty attitude. Because when she says like she says I think one of the things in the sub that caught me from the scene was when she talks to Araragi and then addresses him. She says like, I was like, be honored human that you're actually gonna give your blood to save me.
Oh yeah.
Because she already assumes that he's gonna actually come over there and like actually let him drink her blood, let her drink his blood.
Yeah, and he obviously, I don't think he says no, but he just like turns around and runs.
Yeah, because he panics.
Yeah, and then you just hear saying, wait, are you seriously just gonna leave me here? And then you just, a scene that did make me feel sick, but again, the first movie is the least grotesque, in my opinion, because in that scene you just see her little stumpy arm smashing against the floor and like blood coming out of it.
And like her screaming that, no, I don't want to die.
Yeah, I don't want to die, don't leave me. And then the whole time, I really liked how they did this though, because since she was crying and they were kind of showing that this high and mighty woman was, just a scared child, her cries turn into flat out baby cries, like just stock footage of a baby crying, and he's trying to go and like blank it out, and right when he's outside about to run again, you just hear the crying get louder, and he just yells, God damn it! And he runs down and he says, are you gonna drink all of my blood? And she's like, no, just enough to sustain me. And he's like, okay, just do it. And she seemed like really thrown off by it too, but she's like, okay, fuck it. And she bites down, thus kicking off the series of events that will now follow in Kimzumongatari Part 1.
And then, again, one of my funniest scenes when he runs into her, because the way
Oh, one more?
Go for it.
Hello? I'm at, home. No, I'm not at home. I'm at, recording right now with the Livers. Okay then. I'll give her a call. Okay then. Bye. Okay then. Bye. Alright, I will cut that out, but don't worry.
No, but for me, because one thing to remember is that Heart Under Blade, Kiss Shot. I'll just say Kiss Shot for sure, because again, that's like one of the she rarely got called that.
Yeah.
But Kiss Shot is pretty much a hundreds of year old, I think 500-year-old vampire.
Yeah.
So her way of speaking is not kind of like the same the way like we speak. So the Japanese that she speaks is actually kind of like an antiquated kind of Japanese, kind of like when you think of like old ye olde English and stuff like that.
It was feudal Japan. She met the
samurai.
Yeah,
and he was the one who taught her which again brings me to another scene that I liked from this fucking song.
Fuck this line. I don't speak
Moonpanese. Because whenever people refer to like that old style of Japanese, they just refer to it as moon speak.
Yeah. I don't know any of that goddamn moon spike. But okay, I get that. So she was speaking in a particular a particular language that he didn't get. So he's all like, I only know the current Japanese. I don't know what the fuck she's saying.
Which is why again this suburb made my day.
Yeah. so yeah. I should have watched the first movie then, but I thought, the first movie's only an hour long, technically only 51 minutes. That should be enough, but yeah, maybe I should have watched it again so I can actually remember what she said in that line. But overall, she was just like, "Let me eat you, let me just drink your blood."
And then after like Araragi like running out, and then coming back again because it's saying like, you know what, and I'm gonna decide to save your life and everything, and he's just like I was like, this is kind of like for me. Where you kind of see like a little bit more to like what kind of personality Araragi is.
Yeah.
Because you can see he wants to hesitate as well, but then he says like, hey, if you're gonna use my life to like to save your life and everything, just make sure not to waste this opportunity as well. Because I think at this point he was ready to die because he didn't think he was gonna actually like live through that.
Yeah, he was ready for her to literally drink him bone dry, but she left just enough of him alive to become a vampire, and just enough for her to become a child, look like a child. So he wakes up and realizing that he's infant, he tries to. No, he knows he was a vampire and he tried to kill himself, right?
No? Like he was like he was when he came to, he was wondering like what had happened and everything, so he was gonna go outside. And that's when he pretty much, once he goes outside, the sun is pretty much up there and he catches on. He just pretty much combusts.
Yeah, and the thing with this though is these are very much the vampires from Shiki, where the sun doesn't kill them, so they don't die when they're in the sunlight. They just basically catch on fire and they'll keep burning until they get out of the sunlight.
And the thing about especially like a couple later in the series, like especially with Oshino on Meme,
Yeah.
when he explains to her about it, is that Kishot's bloodline's a little bit special, because for her bloodline, they're actually specialized in being like in quick regeneration and everything.
Yeah.
And when once Kishot rescues Araragi from the fire and brings it back inside the building, she says like you would have actually been burning there until you would have kept burning and regenerating for like until your body couldn't keep up with it anymore.
Yeah.
Which is like. That's a harrowing death right there.
Yeah, but it really does show you how special Kishot is, because if you remember in Monogatari season 2, when Araragi died in the alternate universe where Hanakawa killed him.
Yeah. Hanekawa killed him, and then and that was the one where he rescued Hachikuji, right?
So Hachikuji wasn't there to tell him, hey, I saw this little girl at the donut shop, and he went over there and she snuck in his shadow. So, he lost Shinobu, didn't know to go to the donut shop, died, and then...
She regained her full vampirism.
Yeah, and due to complete sadness that the only other person that she has ever loved died, went and just destroyed the world. And after, when she realized that there was nothing left for her, she tried to kill herself, but it didn't work.
Because she just kept regenerating, so every part of her body that would burn up would just come back again. And so it was just more of her tormenting herself rather than like actually getting a death for herself.
Yeah. Which, just looking at that screenshot you have right there, it really does show you that according to the Anime Man from an old podcast that he did, he said that it took them like 10 years to make this movie or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, it took them a very long time to make this movie. And you could really see that, with Kishot's design right there. Her hair is white, like a much more lighter blonde compared to like the very bright yellow it is in the show. And her hair doesn't really move in the show. And in this one, it moves around. It's always moving. It's like Disney level detail of hair in here. But it really does. Just looking at that, you realize how beautiful the animation is and how much detail there is in this character.
And how beautiful Kishot is too.
Yeah, she's supposed to be what German, right?
Russian, I believe.
Russian?
One of the around there.
Because I know the opening for her specific arcs in the show. That in German or Russian?
One of those.
Yeah.
Because I remember which one you're talking about. It's Oni Monogatari when it talks about her.
Yeah.
And I think it was Russian, I believe, because like it does show St. Petersburg there, like the palace there. So that's why I say Russian, just because I only recognize that building, but I could be totally off.
Right, and she did jump and accidentally land in Japan, and that is how she became like a Japan exclusive vampire.
A Japanese exclusive vampire, and then a deity in the local area.
Yeah. Hey, but she gave them water, so that was a good thing.
Yeah.
She created a lake. But yeah, so she he wakes up after trying to kill himself, and something runs out there and saves him. So she explains, what you just said about the whole regenerating thing, and he realizes, wait, you're still the same vampire? And she's like, yeah, with the body I had and the blood you gave me, I only had enough power to create this much of myself. So now she's like an 8-year-old girl.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Cause she goes through 4 different forms. It was her 8-year-old girl, then her child form,
12,
her adolescent form,
17,
and then her adult form.
Yes, 27.
27, which for me surprisingly was like, holy shit.
You look good for 27.
You look really good for 27. Not only that, but I like the thing what they kept with it as well is like for each increment, like whenever she got more of her limbs back, it's like you can see just how the development goes, and it's like, yeah, that would make sense. Like from here to like childhood to adolescent to adult, the physique makes sense.
Yeah.
You can see where the development comes from for her.
Yeah, like at 12, her boob, she didn't really have the boobs there, but they were perky. And then by the time she was 17, they were big, and by the time she was 27, they were fully grown. So yeah, looking at her body and just looking at, well, this is how you look as a child, this is how you look as a preteen, and this is how you look as a teenager. Yeah, it was a very good detail on Nicio's and Shaft's part when creating the character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what does this say?
Oh, because this is after she's done explaining to him and then how he can get back his humanity.
Yeah.
So she tells him, it's like, okay, so the only way you can get back your humanity is you collect all my limbs back from me, and then once I get all of my vampire abilities back, I'll be able to restore your abilities, your humanity. And Nariyagi is like, are you sure it's true? And then like the subver again, once again, it's like, I swear on you, mama.
Yeah, I swear on you, mama. God damn it, Dubber. Subver. But yeah, like you said, she explains that she got jumped by 3 vampire hunters by the name of
Dramaturgy?
Thank you. A Dramaturgy episode and Guillotine Cutter, who basically jumped her and took her limbs. And that was it. You'd think they would, try to kill her, but I don't know, maybe that was Oshino's plan from the beginning or something weird. But she says, yeah, if you help me regain my full form, I can turn you back into a human. Mm-hmm. You just need to go and get them back from the 3 guys. So he does, and it was about to break out into a Dragon Ball Z fight until freaking, what's his name, Oshino shows up, blocks the 3 of their attacks, and basically tells them, okay, so if you give me 2 million yen, I will go and we will negotiate with them. And they agreed that you will have to fight one at a time, and they will give you a body part for everyone you defeat. But you have to be the one to do it. I can't do it due to some, bylaws.
Well, for Oshino, his reason for saying that as well is because he says his role in all of this is to pretty much keep a balance between everything as well.
Yeah.
So for Oshino, he's saying like that's why he says he's not gonna do it for Araragi, because he says like for him he doesn't want to interfere in that balance. So if he wants to get something from them, Araragi has to do it himself, because at that point, like Araragi is because he's not gonna work as his headman, but rather as his middleman to make sure that things transition smoothly.
Yeah, and make sure that these guys go on with the go and fulfill the other side of the bargain. There we go.
And then again, this is where Kisha appears again, and this is when she was done explaining to Araragi like what to do.
I don't know what line again. I don't speak Taiwanese. What the fuck?
Again, it's that moon speak I think that gets to it.
Oh my god. So yeah.
And fun fact, you know how much 2 million yen is? Around 6,860,000 Zimbabwean dollars.
Why do we need to know that?
Because that's what the suburb put.
Oh good God, that is awesome. I love that. It's not like, oh, it's about what would $2 million would be like
20 G's to 200 G's, I think.
yeah,
In American dollars.
yeah, instead of being like $20,000 in American, nope, it's Zimbabwean dollars. Oh God. This fucking random ass guy.
And that was the last of the scenes with the random ass captions.
Yeah, because believe it or not, people, but with all of the getting caught up in other conversations, we're already at the end of the first movie. They agree that they're gonna pay him $2 million to basically play as the balancer, set up the meetings and the fights, and also to make sure that the guys do withhold the other end of the bargain, because these guys really do want the vampire, and the last thing they want to do is negotiate with another vampire to restore the full power of the person they were trying to kill.
Exactly. And then again as well, it's like you mentioned, with that ends pretty much the part 1 of the Kizumonogatari movie series.
Yep.
Because second part as well, it's like, and again, this is what what caught me off guard with the second movie, is like they get into the fights immediately.
Oh yeah, and this isn't your Monogatari confrontations. These are just flat out like, no, these are fights. Mm-hmm. They're not going to get into a battle stance, charge at each other, and then have one of the characters get incapacitated for them to talk for like the next 6 minutes, or maybe just talking another character down for 15 minutes with Kaiki and what was the other girl's name?
His friend, right?
Yeah, the sister's friend.
Shit!
What was her name? Nadeko! It was at the tip of my tongue. You beat me to it. Yeah. It was, that one, it was literally Kaiki gets tied up by snakes, and then it turns into a whole 15-minute talk of trying to basically talk her down while snakes are restricting him. You don't get any of that. No, the movie fully opens up, which I thought was funny because it was showing the cast list before the movie actually started. It was like Kizumonogatari starring, and it was like the voice actor for Edaragi, and then it says versus, and it was like the voice actors for the 3 vampire hunters. I'm like, okay, that was actually cute. But they do open up with basically
for him, Edaragi, I think it was him getting ready by like going to the bookstore and then purchasing books on both what was the martial art he was researching?
It was Taekwondo, and then for some reason a book on how to pitch.
Oh yeah, baseball. There you go.
Yeah, it was a baseball book, and but yeah, because his first fight was going to be with
Dramaturgy.
Dramaturgy. I'm gonna get it. But it's with him and that character. And they're basically saying, okay, so if I win, you give Kishot's limbs back. And it's yes.
Believe he had her leg.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, they had the leg, and Guillotine had both of the arms. Okay, yeah, so it's like, yeah, you give her back her left leg. And it's like, yes, and then if I win, you give me the whereabouts of Kishot. And it's like, okay, deal. So yeah, it's him reading these books about how to fight, and then, how to pitch a ball in a baseball book. And then he runs into
Hanekawa once again.
Yeah, Hanekawa, who's just walking around in the middle of the night. Nothing out of the ordinary here. They, not like there's vampires running around, vampire hunters, or just those rapey delinquents in every goddamn anime I see. No, just a regular girl walking around, no big deal. They do explain it, and they explain it actually pretty soon. But she says, no, I just wanted to go for a walk, and he's like, oh, well, I have to go. And it's like, wait, but we just bumped into each other, shouldn't we talk for a bit? And he does have like this, he wants to talk moment. But they talk, and he's asking her, why are you walking around in here? And she says, oh, well, I was kind of hoping I could run into a vampire.
And then that's kind of what sets off Araragi at first. Because like for him, like pretty much what he's dealing with right now and everything, especially since especially in the movie, which kind of caught me off guard at first, but then it made sense later on, is that after a while, after like he's talking with Hanekawa and everything, he kind of tries to push her away as well.
Yeah.
By like being the most cruelest thing ever to her.
Yeah. Well, it was before that. Like before the cruel thing, it was when they're just like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. What? But when we were talking, you looked so happy. That was only because I was after your family's inheritance. But my family's not rich.
Oh yeah. When he was trying to come up with the reason why he wanted to drive her away, he was like, I was actually after your money the whole time, but my family's not rich. And he's like, shit.
I love it. It's so random because not once did she ever establish that she was rich, and that was like the first thing that came into his head. Oh, classic Koyomi. But yeah, it's him like, oh well, you're annoying me, and then she says something that really did give him an opening, and he says, oh, it was something along the lines of, does really the idea of being your friend annoy you? And she's like, no, you're pissing me off. You're so annoying. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't want to be a friend. You came up and talked to me, and I bet you're only doing this to
pretty much make yourself feel better, or like make yourself like feel like what was it?
Like something. It was something to benefit her academically. It was a weird thing, like putting it on her roster.
I did that first, and then later on she's like, no, you're just doing it just to make yourself feel better about yourself or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, what do you get off feeling all high and mighty about this as well?
Yeah. Do you realize how it feels when you're the one being pitied on? Mm-hmm. And you could tell that he really dug into on that one, and he said, and the one thing he knew would have worked was ripping out his phone and
deleting her contact information.
Yeah, right in front of her by telling her, you don't mess around with other people's phones, because again, she didn't tell him that the number was going in there. She just wanted to look at the phone. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's him. He really did just, get to her, and she ran off, and he felt relieved that, okay, what's going to happen now? She is nowhere close to it.
Because like the reason why he did this is like he didn't want her to follow him through his fights. Mm-hmm. More importantly, because again, and this goes back to like his personality type and everything as well. It's like I don't know, he's kind of like the person who like worries about others more before he worries about himself.
Yeah.
So for him, he kind of like wants to avoid as much as possible as getting people like to getting other people hurt because of himself or anything.
Yeah.
And like I think for me especially the way he words it. Especially when I was watching like the sub in the movie and everything, it says like, okay, now I've become stronger as a person again because now I don't have friends holding me back anymore.
Yeah.
Because without any friends, he doesn't have to worrying about any collateral damage or anything.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of anime characters do it that way, but I've never seen a character who was internally hurting that bad the way he did when they had to do this in other animes. Mm-hmm. Like, this was a guy that you could tell this hurt him way more than it may have hurt Hanakawa, but again, Hanakawa is famously in this show a very smart girl, so she got what was going on. So we move on to the fight with him and Geometry.
There you go.
And yeah, just like every Monogatari fight, it is Erodaki gets his ass handed to him. Like I love that how he's like, okay, let's fight, and he's like,
oh, you see, like just throw a couple jabs in the air.
Yeah, and then like even before he could think, his arm is like gets knocked out of his socket, and he's just like, ah, and he starts running.
Screaming, yeah.
Yeah. He starts running, and again, this is now the introduction of a lot of creepy baby imagery you're gonna see in this, because you see him running and you see like a little baby arm stick out.
Oh yeah, when it starts to regenerate.
Yeah.
And then this is when he was fighting after like he turned around. He's this is kind of badass of him as well.
Oh yeah.
When you see him grab the stuff and you see him pull out an entire arm out of his socket as well.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, that was badass.
And you notice as well, like, and this is like one of the first clues to like how not all vampires are created equal. Mm-hmm. Because when Dramaturgy sees that as well, you see him actually be shocked that he was actually able to heal it off already.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. I'm like, okay, so he instantly regenerated. Why does that? Can't you do that too? Why does that amaze you? And yeah, it isn't until when he's getting thrown around in the classroom and Koyomi is like throwing baseballs and hits them in the eye and then hits them again in the eye.
Yeah.
And was gonna pick up like not a steam. It was a type of steamroller.
It was like one of those. It's one of those rollers that you use on the baseball field to kind of even out the dirt.
Yeah, and he explains like, look, what you did to me with the eye, it's going to take 2 days to regenerate.
Oh, continue.
Oh, sorry.
I was stuttering for a second. That's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then a hit from that, I'm not gonna recover. So please.
Well, at least for a while.
Yeah. Oh, really? I thought he was indicating he was gonna die.
Oh, well, the way it was in the subs, like it just says like it's like a wound from that would take me weeks to recover.
Oh, okay. Then I'm guessing it's that because the dubs you found, unless they were very done by a very timid person, I'm pretty sure it's the same. It's the same. It was probably due to the fact that like a lot of my memory is being taken up by Kingdom Hearts right now in like, schoolwork. I'm really surprised I haven't gotten a plotline with Kingdom Hearts confused with a movie, so that's a good thing. But yeah, so after he opens the door to darkness, oh wait, what? No, so...
God, that threw a curveball for me because when you mentioned darkness, I was thinking of the one from Konosuba, Darkness, the paladin.
Oh god, I still need to watch that. The dub is out.
Dude, like you threw a curveball. I was like, wait, what the fuck does Konosuba have to do with this? I was so confused for a second there.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is he
defeats Dramaturgy like just by making him concede.
Yeah. He's like because. I was gonna call him Monogatari, what the hell? Edadagi, smart boy, is like, yeah, what's to think you're not just gonna come after me? And he's like, look, I surrender, and I will never bother you or Kid Shot ever again. And yeah, he doesn't, he gets the body parts back, and...
He gets the left foot, the left leg back.
Yeah, the left foot back. Yeah, it would be the very end of the series already. But yeah, he gets the body part back, and they go back and he's talking to Oshino and Kidshot, who again just because it's Shaft, you see her like trying to get the leg while they're talking, and she's like jumping up in the air trying to get it from him.
And for me, this is kind of like one of the funniest scenes, because once they get the limb and everything, Araragi asks like, oh yeah, by the way, how are you planning to like put your body back together again? Because your limbs are shorter now that you're a child. Like, oh, that's simple. And then she just starts eating the leg.
Yeah, which you said in the book it was described in like very gory detail.
Yeah, like for me, like when I was seeing like the comparison for the movie, they were saying that in the book she ate it in a grotesque way because like at this point again her limb is longer than what her body is, so she had to rip it to shreds.
Yeah.
But in the movie, you just put the whole thing in just one bite.
Yeah, and it's not even like it's in one bite and that's it. No, it's like it's all in one bite and you just see an outline shape of a foot stretching across her face, and she's just chewing it and telling the other guys,
"Oh, hold on, I got a call."
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, and telling the other people, it's impolite to watch other people eat. And then she's just chewing the leg and the two of them run outside. But Edadagi starts asking some very legitimately good questions, which is when I was fighting Dramaturgy, he was surprised to see me regenerate so fast, and when my limbs were knocked out of my body, they instantly disintegrated. So why is it that Kidshot didn't just regenerate her limbs, or how is it that she has a foot that is perfectly intact? I was talking about he's talking to Oshino and asking him.
Oh yeah, he's wondering why her limbs didn't just regenerate like they should, like his limbs.
Yeah, and why are they still there and not dissolve into blood? And he tells him like that's a good question, and he's trying to throw his own theories out there. Which, spoiler, he knows why. And he's just saying, well, it's because they caught her in such a weakened state that her body just isn't working the right way. And with luck that we are able to get her body parts back, and she will be benefiting it because of it. So one thing I did forget to mention about dramaturgy, it's another one of those comparisons in the book and in the movie. In the book, dramaturgy is actually described to walk around with 2 silver longswords. Like he dual wields basically Cloud's weapon.
Oh, really? Like
Yeah.
the what was it? The Buster Blade.
Yeah, the Buster Blade. Yeah, he basically dual wields those. Which again, a longsword is nothing to fuck around with. That is specifically a 2-handed weapon. In the movie, though, which I think was really cool, they made him into a dead man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. When I saw that, he just mixes blood into blades and just runs around with them.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I'm with you, director. Was this Shimbo who directed it?
I don't know.
We should look that up. But it's Shaft, so it might have been Masayuki Shimbo. but yeah, I'm with you, director. I am also a fan of Dead Man Wonderland. but yeah, that was another one of those interesting things that I'm like, they did that for the visual sense, but also to show you, also to kind of get you used to an idea of how crazy some of these vampiric powers can
And
get.
just how varied their abilities are as well. And then going back to not all vampires are created equal.
Yeah, because now we have a super interesting fight with a super interesting character. We have Ederagi's fight with Episode, who is supposedly around their age, maybe a few years younger or so. And he walks around with
a giant ass cross.
Yeah, a big ass, like, bladed... Maybe not even bladed. That thing looked very thick, so maybe it's just a giant heavy cross he's throwing around and hitting people with. But his ability, too, is that he just instantly... what is it called again?
He turns into mist.
Yeah. Ooh, transfiguration.
Transfiguration. And then the interesting thing about Episode is that he's actually a half vampire, half human.
Yep. Which is something I kind of wish they explained, but again, half vampire, half human. I guess best case scenario is to assume that a vampire has sex with a human.
And that was my thought as well, my exact thoughts as well, because when Oshino Meme was talking about explaining who Episode was, he did describe that the reason why he hates vampires because of his half vampire, half human bloodline.
Yeah.
So, which makes me want to think that maybe he was born maybe under dubious circumstances, and especially in the fact when he explains in society of the aberrations and everything, anything that's half human and half aberration is usually looked down upon.
Yeah, and Kishshot even said that half vampires because he's like, well, why is he hunting his own kind? And it's like, well, it's because in vampire world he is also a fake. So, he's looked down upon, and that's probably what fills him with anger.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you take it from here.
So then that's when we get the second fight as well. And Hanekawa being the girl who just can't leave Araragi alone. During his fight with Episode, Hanekawa actually shows up to watch a little bit of the beginning of the fight as well. And the thing that's stumping Araragi when he first fights Episode is that there's
Oh wait, she was at the fight with Geometry too.
Towards the end.
Yeah, towards the end, because she was like, what was that? Why were you in something out of a horror book? Mm-hmm. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah, and in the second one, you actually see her appear towards close to the beginning of the fight. Mm-hmm. And Araragi is actually struggling once again with Episode, because no matter how hard he tries to hit, hit or try to hurt Episode, he tends to disappear and appear in a different way, doing that Ultra Instinct shit that Goku does.
Yeah, and instantly getting hit with the cross in the process, because if you can't keep track of him, then how are you supposed to keep track of what direction the cross is coming at?
Exactly. And Araragi's struggling to figure out what's going on and everything. And Hanekawa's about to tell him the trick to Episode's thing.
Fuck.
Which is again, we get another gory scene where Hanekawa gets not hit directly, but pretty much, dude, Hanekawa got lucky there. She got what was it?
Well,
Grazed by it.
yeah.
She got grazed by it, which ends up actually disemboweling her.
Yeah, but man, do they show that in detail, man? Because you just see that hole and you see like the broken rib cage in there.
The broken rib cage and then the intestine like soon falling out, are just coming out.
Oh my god, yeah. I forgot about that one. It literally sprang out like confetti. Oh god.
Dude, and then that's when again Araragi being like Araragi explained how he feels the pain of others. Like you see him freak out when he sees that immediately. Like you see him run to Hanakawa's side, and he's like trying his best, like like put the intestine back in there or figuring out what to do with it.
Yeah, and she says like don't worry about me right now. You're fighting mist. You have to remember that you're fighting mist. You can't hit mist. So I didn't get what his thinking was. How did he end up stopping him?
So that's when he takes him to the baseball stadium. And the idea behind that is like when, for him, the way he described it there is like mist is pretty much just water that's just floating in the air. So all I have to do pretty much is get you to put something in the air that'll prevent you from moving around as easily.
Oh.
Which is why when he lands in the stadium, like he kicks up all the dirt and everything.
Yeah.
That kind of messes with episodes with how did you describe his ability?
Oh, it was transfiguration.
Transfiguration. Because he wasn't able to use the water in the air as efficiently because now there's like foreign substances in there.
Oh, okay. God, that makes so much sense now because I'm like, wait. Okay, he's missed, but they threw sand at him? Wouldn't that fall into the air? But right. It was the particles flying around in the air, right?
They like just interfere with his transfiguration.
That makes so much sense now.
And like why he was able to like not only land a punch, but start choking him to the point where he made him pass out.
Yeah, and I love that scene because he's just like cocky, like huh, and like Araragi tackles him and starts like choking him out, and he was definitely about to go into the kill, but I love the next scene where Oshino comes in and he's all like, stop, because if you keep going any further, you can never go back to being human.
Mm-hmm.
And he does, and he's like, look, he's already passed out. We will get the limbs from him when he comes to. Go. And after that, I think that's when we get the scene. Is it? Oh, it was the scene with Shinobu or Kisha.
No, before that, this is that's when he starts asking Oshino's like, how is there any way that you can save Hanekawa?
Yeah.
And he's like use your brain, man. It's like what kind of whose blood do you think you have in your veins right now? And then again, continuing with that graphic streak and all that stuff, he decides to jam his hand into his head and then just start bleeding out. So when he gets to Hanekawa, he lets his. And you know what? This is what kind of confused me a little bit as well. It's he lets her blood, he mixes his blood with her blood, which causes her to regenerate. And I'm thinking over there, wouldn't that turn her into a vampire as well?
That's why I was thinking maybe in this universe it's the bite.
Either the bite or maybe the amount of blood being transfused as well.
Maybe.
Because I remember that when Kish shot, in order for her to turn him into a vampire, she said she drank enough blood to the point where he was almost dead, but he still had enough to keep flowing in his body.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what makes a vampire. Maybe the more blood you take out of a human, but still leave enough there, the more chance that they'll turn into a more pure form of a vampire.
Yeah. Well, let's throw me in a time machine right now and get High School Danny in here, because High School Danny used to read a lot of vampire books. Okay, High School Danny's here, and I am horny as shit. I'm gonna go. No, okay. Anyway, so when I was in high school, I used to read a lot of vampire books. In Twilight, we know that the vampires in Twilight were basically just husks. They were shell people. And what would turn the people into vampires is venom. Like they actually had a venom in their body that was like a clear crystalline type of substance. In one of my other favorite vampire books is Cirque Dufig, the Vampire's Assistant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one was actually the fact that in order to be converted into a vampire, they had to do a very odd ritual. They had to basically create little holes in your fingertips, create holes in their fingertips, and kind of join hands like that. And that's how they would convert you into a vampire.
They would mix the blood like that.
Mm-hmm. their healing ability came strictly from their saliva. So if you had a cut, they would lick you or rub saliva on you, and you'd be, good. And what was the third book? Right, in the Chronicles of Vladimir Todd, which is trying way too hard to be a Twilight-esque book, but was actually kind of funny. In that one, you had to drain the host completely, but then immediately pour your blood in there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically how different conversions are going. And from the looks of it, Kishart's was perhaps closer to Vladimir Todd because it was definitely getting the blood in there but also biting them.
Yeah,
so that was the closest I can get to. But in
what was going on there? Yeah, and I'm glad you're kind of mentioning this, like clearing this up as well. Because, like, after he did that to save Hanekawa again, I was just kind of, like, just lost. I was like, wait, wouldn't that turn into a vampire? Like, what's going on here?
Or maybe, like, Black Hanekawa is doing something, but I don't know.
Wasn't this before the Golden Week? So she wasn't Black Hanekawa yet.
Oh, I thought she was Black Hanekawa before he met her.
No? Because remember, in the Nekomonogatari series, he says, like, during Golden Week, like, they found a cat, and the Hanekawa and the Araragi found a cat and decided to bury it in the tree.
Oh.
So this was before that.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, she should have either turned into a vampire, but this was more specifically the vampire's bite and not necessarily the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, which I thought, again, still kind of an ooky scene because he's like pouring his blood out of his head and you just see like some of the skin grow back but still a smaller hole in there. And again, this is Shaft being very detailed with, the animation. They're not taking shortcuts here at all. And one thing we forgot to mention was before the fight with Episode, Edoragi asked her a question about Episode, and she's like, "I don't remember. Hold on, let me check."
Oh yeah, when she puts her hand in her brain and she's like just like moving it around to get the. And that was like for me that was like one of the scenes.
Yeah.
Because as you see her digging around in her brain, you just see her eye, like her left eye, just twitching.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah. Oh, I hated it so much. But yeah, it's very detailed. But that was the thing that I got scared of when I saw him do that thing into his head. I'm like, oh no, don't show another version of that again, please. But yeah, he heals her, and I do love how Hanekawa really didn't have memory of it, probably due to the fact that she was actually dead.
Mm-hmm. If anything, she when she comes to, she's like, hey, it's like, why are you holding my stomach if it's something that's precious for you to worship?
Yeah. No, and also like, and why is the hole? Did you put that there?
It's like, Araragi, are you forcing yourself onto me?
Yeah.
And that's when he just laughs, and I was like, hey, just let me stay like this for a couple more minutes.
Yeah. And that is when we get the calm before the storm, where it's just Hanekawa and Edoragi out in a field talking, and they're talking about his morality, why he wants to be a human, and what were some other things?
No, that's afterwards.
After, okay.
Because remember before that this has to do the fight with guillotine cutter.
No. It's because. What happens is that happens before Guillotine Cutter, and he was able to get her to agree not to go to that fight.
Oh, okay, nice. I think I know which one you're talking about. This was before. I was thinking of the one where they went by the river.
Yeah. Oh, I think that was the third movie. No.
No, that was the second one. This is after. Oh no. No, I think you're right. I think that's the third movie. Never mind.
Yeah, because the ending for that one literally ends with him doing that crazy thing. And then basically saying something, and then the movie just cuts to black.
Yeah, because I think if anything, he was just worried about how he was gonna defeat Guillotine Cutter.
Yeah.
And and that's when she pretty much takes off her panties and everything, and then she's one is like, Araragi, just think about it right now. I have to go home commando this whole time. what I'm going through is gonna be a lot more worse than what you have to do with guillotine cutter. So I wish you luck.
Yeah. Just give them back to me at the next term. And he's like, you are never getting these back. These will become a family heirloom.
To the Araragi clan.
Yeah, to the Araragi clan for ages to come. And she's like, just give them back to me. No. Instead, I will give you a debt, and I will try every day of my life to repay that debt to you. Just give me back my panties. No. but that scene kind of cracks me up because it was them already kind of establishing that Araragi can eat, but it's not really necessary. But the thing that made me laugh is like, oh, here Araragi, here's like Coca-Cola, and they actually show like a bottle of it, or at least a parody bottle of how it is in Japan. But I'm like, well, I guess we know who sponsored this movie in Japan.
Oh, and again, I like it when you say that. Cause I just remembered before his fight with episode, I remember Hanekawa was there in the schoolroom with Kishot. Fuck.
Oh yeah, we completely skipped that very awkward scene.
And then she notices like, it's like I knew it, Araragi, you're actually pretty ripped and everything.
Yeah.
And that's when when Kishot just wakes up like half asleep. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, vampires tend to form their bodies in a way that benefits the host. So they try to keep them as fit as vampires. Bodies tend to be as fit as possible to ensure survival.
Yeah, and then she falls asleep.
And then you just see Hanako just like feeling him up and everything.
Yeah, which I actually forgot that was a thing. And then now I remember with Sue, the doll. I forget her name.
I love that scene with her as well when she's like, wow, you're actually more muscular than you thought.
Yeah.
And she asks him to pay him back in muscle.
Yeah. It's like, I will pay you back. In muscles, other.
Ononoki!
Ononoki?
Ononoki.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The doll one.
Yeah. I actually forgot about how jacked he was. So like.
And I like how that explains why he's jacked as well.
Yeah. Because I'm like, you don't really come off as the type of guy who would work out like that, but
Yotsugi Ononoki.
Yotsugi. Oh, okay. That was the one that I remembered her for. But and Hanakawa even says like, yeah, I was wondering about that because when I saw you from behind, I almost didn't think it was you because the build was so different.
Yep. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna go pick up Nestor in Kobe soon. So if anything, we can just probably go through a little bit more for part 3.
Okay.
Yeah, because they just came back from the San Diego trip, and I'm gonna go pick them up afterwards.
Oh, okay. So I'll Uber home then.
Yeah, I can drop you off if you want. I can just take the freeway to GCC afterwards.
Oh, okay then. Alright, so unless you want to just stop it here because the last movie is considerably longer.
That's true.
So, we're gonna finish up part 2 because we still have the guillotine cutter fight to describe real quick.
And then if anything, we'll just continue part 3 next week.
Yeah. It will be part 3, and then after that it will be Lewis's turn. But yeah, the next movie is like an hour and 20 minutes, and that goes into a lot of very considerable detail that I would like to spend time on. So, okay, that's how we're going to do it. So, the next thing that happens within that same scene that was sticking on is she's like, all right, well, I guess I better be going. And then she finds like the magazine that he had, and it's like, hey, what's this? And it's like, that I found that on the way back. I thought it was important to you.
So I went back to find him, and he's like, so it's like, Kishot, you traitor.
Yeah. And then she just snores. She just goes back to sleep snoring, and and she's like, oh, well, I guess we can see that our meeting did affect you in a way. And she points at the "We Love Glasses Girls" part.
Oh yeah, with the poster, the negative.
Yeah. So after the whole exchanging of the panties and promising that he will not die and they will meet again in the next term, Oshino, on the day of his fight, comes bursting into his room saying, Araragi, I have made a terrible mistake.
He messed up pretty much.
Yeah, I messed up really bad. Because by this point, he had offered to pay him another 3 million yen for the protection of the class president.
Yeah.
Which he failed because the class president got abducted by Guillotine Cutter, who is just an average human who works for the church, who is hell-bent on the extermination of vampires, and is actually a very stubborn man. So he ends up running. He ends up going to meet him. Well, no, not yet. He asks him, "Well, what do I do?" And he's like, "Well, Araragi, you're gonna have to give up on being a human."
Yeah, so he says like for this fight, it's like he can't settle. He has to give up on his humanity if he wants any chance to like not only retrieve Kishot's limbs but also save Hanekawa at the same time.
Yeah, so basically telling him to kill him, right?
Not kill him, but just rely on his vampire abilities.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, and we do see how crazy the bloodline of
Kishot is.
Because almost immediately when the fight starts, his hands like split up into pieces parasite style and turn into tree roots. Grab Hanekawa, push Gillisan Cutter up while he's laughing, still laughing at his own arrogance, and is like, he's holding Hanekawa.
Well, he also crucifies Gillisan Cutter, like, ironically enough.
Yeah, crucifies him by also sprouting a giant tree, which explains the tree on top of the school building.
Yep.
I actually thought that was neat. I'm like, oh, so that's like there's like a random tree in an abandoned school building.
Yeah, and again, I like how this movie just explains so much from the whole series after when you start watching it.
Yeah. But it's funny because I was expecting like news media to be involved because if you remember there were these weird shots.
Oh yeah, and then you can just hear helicopter sounds and everything as well.
Yeah, I'm like, are they being watched? And it's like, no, it's just a weird thing they do that they always do in the series.
Just monogatari things.
Yeah, monogatari things. And of course we didn't talk about the many times they have done like the complete style transitions. They do a big one in the third movie that we'll talk about next week. But yeah, so that was our review. So far, what did you think of the first two movies of the series just with these first two films?
For me, these films, again, just like I'm really big fan of the Monogatari series. This is a really good show really good series I got to like watch and everything.
Yeah.
And just watching the movies and everything as well, it really did explain a lot about like what goes on in the series. Because one of the things that like always like irked me or like I always was curious about ever since I started like Bakemonogatari or anything is whenever I read like the description of like the shows or anything, especially when I first looked at Bakemonogatari, I remember it said like this is these series of events takes place after Araragi had met a vampire and rescued her. And I was like wondering, like, oh, let me mute that.
Oh, is that them?
No.
Actually, while he's gone, I'll do my. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and then for me, it's like I was always curious about like what had happened before the Bakemonogatari series began.
Yeah.
And these movies, I'm glad that they kept everything consistent. Not only with just the fact that like explaining what happened before the series as well, but like also giving insights. It's like, oh, so that's why that thing is there, or like that's why this is happening.
Yeah.
Like it connects so well with the main series.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they're just throwing it in Star Wars style to be like, oh, this is how C-3PO was made. No, it feels very natural, and it explains the more weirder things that show has by also reminding you how weird the show is. Because again, I never thought about that tree in the building until they had that scene.
Yeah.
But what else?
And then for me, I actually really like the movies as well. It's like, again, completely different art style like that I'm used to, like with the original Bakemonogatari series and everything.
Yeah.
But it was visually pleasing to watch that movie as well. Especially the first movie, just because of the subber. But aside from those funny subs that they provided, I really liked especially the gore and everything as well. Everything was like they didn't hold back for this movie at all.
And 3 just goes full crazy. There's a dream sequence that Araragi has with Hanekawa in the third film that still fucked me up. It just thinking about it now, I still get chills thinking about that. But yeah, you're right. This is easily the goriest that the series has ever been. But again, when you read the book, you realize that the anime had to tone that down.
Yeah, just so like it can be a little bit more friendly for like a wider audience, if anything.
Yeah.
And for me, like I love this series. I love these movies as well. And I can't wait to speak about this like the third movie like next week.
Yeah.
When I have more time, if anything.
Yeah. So for me, it's basically the same. I love Shaft's idea of making the entire background 3D, so they can just focus on the character movements, making them more natural, making them with so much detail. So I do find it really impressive when you see a 2D model of Hanakawa walking with an umbrella that is 3D rendered.
They're blended so well as well.
Yeah, there was never a moment where there was never a moment like with older anime where they did that and you could tell, oh, that doesn't really fit right. Like even with the Dragon Ball Z movies, and I'm talking about Battle of the Gods F and Broly, the recent ones. There's always them fighting on like a 3D backdrop, and you could straight out tell they're on two separate dimensions, and it's not supposed to be like that. The movies just once again reminded me why I love these characters, why I love the weirdness that is the Monogatari series. And again, if you're not a big fan of the talking, you will probably get a little bit more out of this movie because there's a lot more action rather than dialogue in here. But again, it definitely does remind you why this series is so unique and does remind me why I am into the series the way I am. And yeah, I will say this with these films and the third film, this is my favorite. Like my favorite story of the series, just because I love how it kicks off everything and how something happens in 3 that we will talk about, but that alone just made me like this. This really is like my favorite here.
Yeah.
And yeah, just tune in next week when hopefully we have more time and we will talk about part 3.
And part 3, and then just so you know right now, Danny, I'm probably going to tell you what my choice is for right now, just so you can kind of have like a heads up.
Oh yeah.
But since February is going to be like Valentine's Day and like the month of romance, I'm going to kick things off with one romance anime that I discovered by accident recently. Watched it, and to be honest, shocked at how they pulled off romance in the show and loved it. For me, I'm talking about the show, the anime called Classroom Crisis, which actually which premiered in 2015, right when Attack on Titan and all these other shows came out as well.
Okay, Classroom Crisis. I will have to see where that is streaming. But yeah, is the show gonna be like a bait and switch? I know it really is like a love thing.
It's a love thing,
okay.
But like it's one of those things where like it's not done where like, oh, you got the stereotypical like tsundere or like stuff like that as well. It feels like you're watching more of like a novella like romance develop.
Oh, okay.
And the thing about this show as well is that the first episode's kind of crazy.
Okay, the art style looks super cute.
Yeah, Classroom Crisis right there.
Alright, Classroom Crisis. That will be streamable on Crunchyroll, so we are letting you guys know in case you want to really book club it with us. So it is to stream on Crunchyroll or other sites. But yeah, anyway, I'm Danny.
I'm the Squatcha.
And yeah, tune in into our more romantic month, because when my pick comes around, I think I know what choice I want.